Hey, so this is going to be a short-ish audio test of all the different options I have for audio recording in the, well, not really studio space. But it's what I have to work with right now, so I have to deal with it. So over here we have my main camera, the EOS R5C. Yeah, the Canon EOS R5C. And that has a monaural mic, so you will not be hearing that now because you probably couldn't hear what I was saying. But if you were to hear it, this is how it would sound. It's a pretty dreadful, really echoey, and not even stereo. Monaural, meaning it only has one mic. It's not a stereo microphone array. It doesn't have two microphones. So it's a real pain in the ass to get to actually put it in a video, because I either have to duplicate the channels, or I have to make it stereo and just put the same audio in both channels, or I just put it in the video, put it in a stereo, video, and then it just does whatever it does. And in DaVinci Resolve, that's easy to do, but the results are not great to deal with, and it's very, very hard to mix a video for YouTube that has balanced audio levels for like the music, the effects, not really effects, like the stuff going on, like tape drawers opening and stuff, which can be pretty loud or pretty quiet, and you want to hear them. This camera's tilted. That's not intentional, but yeah, you want to hear those things. With monaural mics, those sounds will be very loud. They will peak the mic, of course, but then you can barely hear them in the finished video. So I'm gonna try not to do that. So I have to somehow have a stereo recording, and there's a couple ways that I can go about that. The first one I figured out was, well, let's just get a stereo microphone. So I have this over here, not this, but this. This is actually the Canon Vixia GX10 consumer camcorder that cost around $2,500 when it was new back in 2017. It's the only consumer camcorder that I'm aware of that Canon or anyone else made, even around this price point, that can do 4K 60 video recording, like at all, let alone overheating. Oh, and this also has a stereo microphone on top, which is not great, but also not the worst thing ever. Definitely going to be better than the monaural mic on the $3,500 camera from 2023 that I'm actually recording this video with. Of course, the newer one's worse. Why wouldn't it be? Anyway, so that's what that is. And it's kind of falling apart. The window up here for the cards has like fallen out. It's actually inside the door right now. The mechanism for the flip out LCD is like fucked, for lack of a better word. It makes a bunch of fun noises when you open it and close it, a bunch of pops. And it seems to be a very old unit that was in regular use. Oh, and the white balance is failing, so that's great. So that's why I'm not actually using that anymore, but other than that, this is a very good camcorder for even nowadays, and especially in 2017. Okay, so that's one stereo microphone. Where's the other one? What's the one you're hearing right now? Well, it's actually this. This is in fact a Canon EOS R6 Mark II, which has a stereo microphone built into it. But the thing is, you aren't hearing that right now. Actually, hang on. So now you are hearing the stereo microphone array that this camera, which costs about $1,000 less than the one I'm recording this with, you're hearing its stereo microphones. Yeah, it has two microphones and they produce a stereo signal. But you weren't hearing that at first. You were hearing this, which I'll put back on now. This is in fact a Canon stereo microphone attachment thing, which I actually usually use on the Canon R5C, but it actually sounds way better, way crispier when it's like right in front of someone, and I have it set up so that like in the settings to where it'll do that properly. That's why it's not on the R5C right now, it's actually on the R6 II. The problem with the R6 II is that it'll overheat in 40 minutes if recording at 4K 60, so right now I have this recording at the lowest possible everything that it can do, which is 1080p 30, which is compressed a bit more. So this will sound quite good, but I don't know. I wouldn't really prefer it, but if you guys prefer it, then I will shoot with that instead of like anything else. I'm letting you guys pick which one you prefer, basically. But this is not all. There's two other options. I have two other audio streams running right now. One of them is my good trusty Rode microphone and this Tascam DR05X linear PCM audio recorder. Yeah, all this does is record audio, and it costed like $70 on Amazon. Pretty crazy. but it's an actual professional piece of equipment. You'll be hearing the audio coming from this mic, not the mics that are on here. To me, it sounds really woofy. If I talk right into it, it'll kind of start peaking the microphone if I talk too loud, because there's no manual. Actually, I think there is an automatic setting on here, but I always have this on manual gain mode because I don't think it sounds very good on automatic mode. So I never have that setting on. But if I talk directly into it, you'll hear my voice gets a little bit crispier, and it just sounds way better. The problem is I never do that, but like 5 times in a 40-minute video. So yeah, that's not really ideal. And I don't really have anywhere to clip it onto. Whoops, I just bumped it. That's another thing. I bump it and this has a cable. It's just not ideal because it's, you know, attached to me. It's going to move when I move. It's going to, you know, bounce when I bounce. Yeah, it might be the highest quality option that I have in terms of like actual audio noise level. Everything else is extremely noisy. Even this professional other Rode microphone, which is actually, can you see it? I don't even know if you can see it. You might, oh no, you can see it, you can see it. But that's I think like a $200, might have even been $800. I don't know. I think it's the Rode GT2 or G2 or whatever, something like that. And it's basically another version of this stereo microphone, except that's a mono microphone and it's more professional than this one, which also means it costs, I think it costs more, and it's you know, only XLR. So I have to have a laptop, which is actually down there, and an audio interface, which is also down there, running on battery to record this microphone and amplify it up to where you can actually hear it. So it'll be quite noisy. I don't even know if the levels are good. Let me actually check the levels because I don't even know if they're good or not. You know what? They look fine, but I'm going to turn them down a little bit. Okay, so that should be a little bit better. The goal is to get that microphone in a position where it sounds good, not woofly, and doesn't peak when I turn it up, when I manually turn up the gain of my audio recording in another program like in Resolve, the NLE that I use, or the video editor that I use. It does so many other things, but it's an NLE first and foremost. So that's probably the second highest quality option. You know, this mic is only $69. Nice. And I had 2 more of these, not this exact model of microphone, not even from this company, but I had 2 other microphones that cost me about 13 bucks when I bought the first one, and then like 9 bucks when I bought the second one, because I lost that one. And then I found both of them, and you know, now I have like 3 of them. Actually, I have 2 of these as well. I have 2 of these and 2 of the like $10 Amazon Crap Munch ones. Those ones actually, they're not as bad as you would think. They're definitely a bit noisier and they're definitely a bit lower quality, but they have a better bass gain level. That's not the correct term at all. I'm not a scientist in this area. I just record things and draw conclusions based on what they give me. Those seem to be better for doing crappy little videos that you can hear everything in. They just capture more stuff than this does, which, you know, in a normal production environment is a bad thing. You only want it to capture what, you know, you only want it to capture what the person's doing. The problem is, on this show, we don't do that. So I don't really know what my options are. Oh, I know what my options are. I just don't know which is the best one. So, you know, again, I'm gonna let you guys pick. But we are not done here, because there's 2 other audio options and they all sound completely different, but they're using the stuff that's still on this table. So how am I going to do that? Like with this lavalier mic, I don't actually have to plug it into this recorder. I could plug it into any audio recorder with a mic input. So I'm going to choose, so I'm going to actually take it out of here. And now you guys can hear the recording from the actual internal mics of this Tascam. But I'm going to plug the lavalier mic into the EOS R6 Mark II here. Where is it? There it is. There's the mic jack. Okay, well that didn't actually work at all, but just pretend that it did. This is the audio that would have been coming through. So here I'm talking about my Tascam audio recorder. I'm talking about VHS tapes. I'm talking about, you know, the 8-hourness of them. I'm talking about the Batteries Plus 1-800 MR Start battery, the BPBP63 from Batteries Plus. It's a nickel cadmium battery. And yeah, this is just some test audio that I had to come back up here and record because apparently the Canon EOS R6 Mark II doesn't actually change to the microphone input when there's a hot shoe mic plugged in, which, of course, as you can see in the video, I had that hot shoe microphone plugged into the top. And it apparently prefers using that over the mic input if there's something plugged into that. So it didn't switch at all. But hopefully this is actually working, or else I'll have to do this again, but with a different camera, because this one's a pain in the ass. Goodbye. It seemed to have this really responsive limiter on it that just made it not ever peak, even though it appeared to be extremely loud. I actually had to turn it down to like fit music in there. Which I'm not used to doing. That's of course what I would want, but the thing is, it seems like it's compressing the audio, not as in audio compression like Opus, AAC, or none of those. I'm talking about making there be less space in the audio, so everything is right up close to you. So when I breathe in, it's really reactive. You can probably hear it as I'm breathing. It sounds very close, and that just doesn't sound natural. I want my videos to sound natural, but that's just not it. So what do I do? Also, I haven't showered in like 3 days, so I probably look gross. I might have not showered in 5 days. I don't know. I probably shouldn't post this video, out of self-preservation, but I really need a solution to this problem. I'm going to modify the audio coming from that Rode microphone. The Rode microphone, when it was plugged into here, well, that's all I'm going to modify. I'm not going to modify any of the other audio tracks that I've recorded here. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 different audio choices for you to choose from. So let's see. Let's map them out here. The number 1 is going to be the monaural mic on the Canon EOS R5C. That's probably the worst one and the quietest one, and the most echoey one, because this room is not that soundproof at all. I can't soundproof. So that is mic 1. Mic 2 is going to be the Canon GX10 stereo microphone. That's the inbuilt microphone in here. So that's number 2. Number 3 is going to be the stereo built-in microphones of the Canon R6 Mark II, so when I had this off. So that's number 3. Microphone number 4 is going to be the Canon EOS R6 Mark II with the stereo microphone add-on on here. So that's option 4. Mic option 5 is going to be the Rode microphone with the modifications that I have modified with the recording. Microphone 6 is going to be the the Tascam recorder with the Rode microphone plugged into it. And microphone 7 is going to be the Tascam without a microphone attached to it, so as it sounds right now. And mic option 8 is simply going to be the EOS camera, the Canon camera, but with the Rode microphone attached, which... Please help me choose what microphone that I should use, because truthfully, I don't know what people prefer. I don't know what sounds great to most people. If I had a choice, all my videos would be like horribly low volume, and you'd have to turn your speakers up like all the way to hear them properly, or to hear them how they were meant to be heard, like how I mixed them, which I did for the second video on Mellowcore, because I exported that the first try, it was horribly too loud. In Resolve, it wasn't peaking, which was very unhelpful, because when I watched it on YouTube after I exported it and uploaded it, it was peaking all over the place. So I really had to just turn everything down, absolutely everything, to like what it would have been if I didn't turn the mics up at all. And that's how the video went up, and that's how it is. You can go watch it right now. It's extremely low volume. But the third video that I made on that channel, I did something different. I can't remember what. The first video on that channel, which is the 9-minute one, was actually recorded with that Rode microphone. So it doesn't sound very good, and it sounds quite echoey. But that might be the best any of them sounded. But I think you should be the judge of that, because too many factors here for me to consider, and I don't know what you like. So let me know. That chair needs to take a dookie.